Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video, we are going to have the second subtopic from chapter 1, which is inequalities of absolute value. So before we proceed to the example, you are going to have the properties first. Okay, look at the first properties of absolute value. You have the modulus of x less than a. So if you see this symbol, modulus with the less than symbol, it is also equal to x is in between negative a up until a. If you represent in the number line form, the number line is from negative a towards up until a. So you have the empty circle here. Why empty circle? Because these two value is excluded from your range. If you have modulus less or equal than a, then you have the dense circles. Means that negative a and a included in your range. Second property, modulus of x more than a. So what happens if you have modulus more than symbol? So you can have x is actually less than negative a or x is more than a. In the number line form, you can display the number line from negative a and then you have the arrow towards your left side, and from a your arrow will be towards your right hand side. So you have the opposite direction. And then empty circle here. Why empty circle? Because you don't have any equal sign. But the second one here, modulus of x more or equal than a, then you are having the same direction, left hand side from negative a and right hand side from a, but this one is dense circle. Why dense circle? Because you are having the equal sign. So please remember these two properties, so easier for you to solve the absolute values inequalities. Okay, look at example 7. Okay, example number 7, solve modulus of 2x plus 3 more or equal than 9. Okay, so let's look at the symbol first, more or equal than symbol. So which properties? Properties number 1 or number 2? Okay, so look at properties number 2, you have more than symbol. So you have to use the second property. So what is the second property say? Your value will be 1 towards your left side, 1 towards your right side. So same goes to here. You are having 2x plus 3 less or equal than negative 9, or the second part is 2x plus 3 more or equal than 9. Remember, 1 towards your left side, 1 towards your right side. If madam display in the number line form, let's say this is negative 9, this is 9. So your number line will start at this one, dense circle. Why dense circle? Because you are having the equal symbol here. So dense circle, put an arrow towards your left side. This one from 9 also dense circle, arrow towards your right side. So you have to write the definition first. Then solve the first part. You are having the linear inequalities here. So remain x one side, number 3 bring to the other side. So you are having negative 9 minus 3 is negative 12. So x will be less or equal than negative 6. And then solve the second part. 2x remain one side, 3 bring to the other side. You have 9 minus 3 is 6. So x is more equivalent to 3. Okay, so how to write your answer? You are having two types of writing the answer. The first one, as it is, which is x is less or equal than negative 6, or x is more or equal than 3. This one we call as the inequalities notation. Inequalities notation. Okay, second type of answer, you can have in this form, where x starting from negative infinity until negative 6, which is the first answer just now. This is our first answer, which is x less than -6. So how you put it in the interval form? You can have from -infinity, open circle, until -6, close circle. Why close circle? Because you are having the equal symbol here. Union, the second answer is this one. X is more or equal than 3. Means you can write from 3 until infinity. Infinity is always open circle. 3, when you have the equal symbol, write the close bracket. So this one we call as the interval notation. Interval notation. So always follow the question. Some question they mention, put your answer in the interval notation, or write your answer in the inequalities notation. So make sure follow the question. So this is the two writing method on the answer for inequalities of absolute value. Okay, second method. This is the first method where you split into two parts using the properties or definition. Second method. Okay, let's look at the second method where we are using the square both side method. Okay, square both side method. But this method is only valid if both sides confirm positive. So in this question, you are having the question of 2x plus 3 modulus more or equal than 9. Okay, this is the original question. So if you look at the left hand side value, you are having modulus. Modulus means confirm this value is positive. Okay, look at the right hand side. This is positive 9. Positive 9 value is positive. So this side also confirm positive. Then you can use the square both side method. Okay, if you do not confirm each of the side is positive, you cannot proceed with the second method. Okay, so how to use the square both side method? Change this one to the definition of square root square first. So 2x plus 3 modulus, you can write in the form of square root 2x plus 3 square more or equal than 9. Okay, alright, in that form first. Then use the square both side method. 1 square left side, 1 square right side. So what happened to the left side? You can cancel out square root and square. So left only 2x plus 3 square more or equal than 9 square is 81. And then solve the left hand side, expand that one. 2x square is 4x square plus 2 times 2x times 3 is 12x plus 3 square is 9. And then bring 81 to your left side. Minus 81 more or equal than 0. Okay. Then simplify further. You are having 4x square plus 12x. 9 minus 81 is negative 72. More or equal than 0. And then, can you simplify further this quadratic? 4x square plus 12x minus 72. So you can divide the whole equation with 4. Then your inequalities become x square plus 3x minus 18 only. More or equal than 0. And then you can factor out using calculator only. So what is the factored form? The first factored form will be x plus 6. The second one will be x minus 3. So you are having the quadratic inequalities. Before this, you have learned quadratic inequalities. So how to solve quadratic inequalities? You can have the graphing method, remember? So how to graph the quadratic? Look at the symbol of A. The value of A. The value of A. So A here is positive. So you will have the smile shape of the graph. Okay. So just draw the smile shape of the graph. together with the x-axis. So your roots is -6 and 3. Roots is the answer for x. If you look at this factored form, x plus 6, the roots is -6. X minus 3, the roots is 3. So you just display the roots. So the first root is -6. This is 3. Okay. Let's say this is your y-axis. So you have the symbol of more than here. Means that choose only the area which is more than 0. So this is the area more than 0. So how to write your last answer? X is from, okay, look at the first area here. First area here is from -infinity until -6. They stop until here. So just write your notation which is -infinity up until -6. And then the bracket will be close bracket. Why close bracket? Because you are having the equal symbol from the question. Union with, okay, look at the second area, which is the area covered from 3 until infinity. So just write that one, 3 until infinity. Infinity is always open bracket. 3 is close. So this is your last answer. So answer is the same as the first method just now, but you are using different solution, which is squaring both side method. Alright, the next example, when you are having the question of modulus but combined with fraction inside the modulus. Okay, so how to solve this type of question? Okay, we are having two methods also. Using definition, usually question will mention solve the inequalities using definition method. So you have to follow. Definition is the properties just now. So always remember the properties. The first properties just now is modulus less than symbol. The second properties is modulus more than symbol. So in this example, we are using the second properties. So what is the second properties? So madam just write back the second properties, which is modulus of x more than a. You will have x less than -a or x is more than a. So in this case, your a will be 1. So this is your a. So just split into two parts, where the first part will be x minus 1 over 2x plus 1 is less than -1. Or the second part, x minus 1 over 2x plus 1 more than 1. Okay, make sure you follow the properties. This is less than negative value, less than negative value. This is more than positive value, more than positive value. So correctly using the properties, you have 1 mark here. So what's next? So focus on the first part first, which is this one. Focus on solving these rational inequalities or fractional inequalities. So what is the steps? The first step is, this one, recall the previous video. Bring everything to one side. Make sure right hand side is equivalent to 0. So you have to bring -1 to your left hand side. So this is x minus 1 over 2x plus 1 plus 1 less than 0. Make sure right side is 0. And then simplify your left hand side. How to simplify? Equate the denominator. X minus 1 plus 2x plus 1 over by 2x plus 1 less than 0. So make sure you equate the whole denominator and then simplify the numerator parts, which is x plus 2x is 3x. -1 plus 1 is 0. So you have 3x only from the numerator part. over by denominator is 2x plus 1 less than 0. Okay. Settle the first part. Let's move on the second part. Solving the second part of the fractional inequalities. So, using the same method, bring everything one side. So, x minus 1 over 2x plus 1 minus 1 is more than 0. Then, equate the denominator. You will have x minus 1 minus 2x plus 1 over 2x plus 1 more than 0. And then simplify your numerator. X minus 2x is negative x. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2 over 2x plus 1 more than 0. Okay. So right now you are dealing with the negative symbol from x. In front of x you have the negative symbol. So it is easier for you actually to have x become positive first. So change x to positive. You have to multiply this one with negative 1. So what happened to the symbol? The symbol also you need to change. So this one, if you change to x plus 2 over 2x plus 1, the symbol become less than 0. Okay? So make sure you are having the changing of symbol here if you want to make x become positive. Okay. So settle the solving part. Okay, what's next is for the fractional inequalities. Okay, recall back the step. The step is bring everything one side, simplify, then use the sign table. Remember the sign table method? You have to know the roots first. So what is the roots? Roots is the x value. So what is the x value? For 3x, what is the roots? The roots is when that equation becomes 0. So what is the x value? For that 3x becomes 0. So x will be equivalent to 0. For the denominator parts, 2x plus 1. When is this denominator become 0? When you are having x is equal to negative 1 over 2. So you have to know the roots first in order for you to construct the sign table. Okay, so draw the sign table. Display the roots that you have, which is 0 and also negative half. So arrange in order. Negative half first, then 0. And then for this part, for the left hand side column, you have to display the roots. Remember the roots? So what is the roots? You have 3x and also 2x plus 1. Okay, so just draw one table that consists of sign first, either negative sign or positive sign. So how to fill in the sign, either positive or negative? You need to choose one number here. Okay, one number for each of the interval. Let's say for negative 1 over 2, you choose the value of, for example, this one, you choose negative 1. Okay, this is the value that comes from the range negative infinity until negative 1 over 2. Okay, from negative 1 over 2 until 0, choose another one number. For example, negative 0.1, for example. And then choose another one number for the third interval, which is 0 until infinity. Let's say you choose number 1. So this is the 3 number chosen. This one is actually the method for you to fill in the symbol. Fill in the symbol in the sign table. And then what to do with these 3 value? Substitute into the first factored form and the second factored form. For example, negative 1, if you substitute into 3x, what is the answer? Negative 3. So you are having the negative answer. So write negative sign here. And then substitute negative 0.1 into 3x. What is your answer? Positive or negative? So another negative answer. And then the last one, substitute 1 into 3x. You have 3, which is positive answer. So write positive. So we just display the sign only, not the number. Okay. Same goes to the second factored form. Substitute negative 1 into 2x plus 1. Okay. So if you substitute here, you will have negative or positive value. Just press your calculator. 2 times negative 1 plus 1. So you will have negative answer. So put negative here. And then try to substitute negative 0.1 into the second factored form. So your answer will be 2 times negative 0.1 plus 1. So if you calculate using your calculator, you will have positive answer. So just write positive sign. If your value of x is 1, substitute into the second factored form. 2 times 1 plus 1. Answer at last will be positive also. Okay. That is the long way to fill in all the sign. The shortcut method is, let's say for the roots negative 1 over 2. Negative 1 over 2, the roots comes from this factored form. Remember? So let's say madam highlight purple for this one. Negative half is the roots for 2x plus 1. Okay. So put your ruler here. Let's say put your ruler here for the roots negative 1 over 2. So the right hand side area. So the right hand side area of your roots is always positive. So write positive and positive here. The left hand side area from the roots is negative. So put negative here. Okay, that is the shortcut method. Without substitute all this value. So you just use your ruler, put it here on the line of negative 1 over 2. So the right side is all positive. The left side is all negative. Same goes to the second roots here. So what happened for the second roots? You are having 0 from the second root. So put your ruler here. Then this is your root. This is the factored form, 3x. So from this root, 0, all values at your right hand side from this ruler is all positive. So let's say you have another column here. So all column will be positive. But for your left hand side, all will be negative. Negative and negative. Okay. That's how you put the sign plus or minus or positive or negative into the sign table using the shortcut method. Okay. And then at last, find the resulting sign. So how to find the resulting sign? RS standing for resulting sign. So you have to multiply these two value or just divide. Okay, either one. So negative times negative or negative divided by negative is positive. So put the positive symbol for the resulting sign. And then the second column, negative divided by positive value will have negative. Positive divided by positive is positive also. Okay. So how to choose where is the answer for the resulting sign? So you will have positive or negative or positive. So it depends on your questions. So look at the question. The question mentioned you have the negative. Less than 0 means negative. So choose only the negative answer. Okay, choose only the negative answer. So madam erase it first. So this is your positive, this is your negative answer, which is from negative half until 0. Okay, negative half until 0. So just write your answer here first, which is negative half until 0. This is your answer for x from the first part. Okay, for the second part also, you are doing the same method, which is write the roots first. So what is the roots? The roots is, for the numerator, x is -2. And then for the denominator, x is -1/2. What is the roots? Roots is when you substitute this value into the function becomes 0. Okay, that is roots. And then you just draw the table. So table must showing all the roots, starting from -2 until -1/2. Make sure in sequence of order. And then the factored form is x plus 2 and 2x plus 1. Okay, so just draw one table and fill in all the column. Okay, so we are using the shortcut method here. So how to do the shortcut method? Okay, look at the roots. Okay, let's say this is the factored form, x plus 2. So what is the roots? The roots is -2. So put a ruler here or put your pen here. So towards your right hand side from the roots is always positive. So this is positive, this is also positive. And then from the ruler towards your left side is all negative. Okay, same goes to the second factored form. Let's say for 2x plus 1, the roots is -½ So put your ruler here. Right hand side of your ruler is all positive. So this is positive. Remember, your ruler is at the yellow highlight. And then the left side is all negative. That's how you fill in the value without substitute all the values. So just use the shortcut method. Resulting sign, negative over negative is positive. Positive over negative is negative. Positive over positive is positive also. Okay, so how to choose your last answer? So your last answer will depending on the question. Less than 0 means choose the negative answer only. So this is the chosen interval. Okay, so write your answer. So x is from, this is your answer, from -2 until -½ -2 until -½ Okay, sorry, open circle. This one is open circle. Why open circle? Because you don't have equal sign. Okay, then you are having two interval here. The first interval for the first part, the second interval for the second part. But you have to combine these two answers. How to combine? Using one number line. So draw one number line. Combine that two answer. First answer is, let's say this is first answer. This is second answer. So first answer is from negative. Let's say this is -1/2. This is 0. This is -2. Okay. So first answer will be -1/2 until 0. Okay. That is your first answer. Second answer. Let's say second answer will be this one. From -2 until -½ Let's say this is your second answer. So how to combine? Combine means just take everything. You have to combine all your answers. So combine everything. So this is your answer. And then this is also your answer. Exclude that empty circle. So how to write your last answer? Your last answer will be x from -2 until -½ open circle, open bracket, union -½ until 0 open bracket also. One more thing, for the rational inequalities or for the fractional inequalities, you have to consider your denominator cannot be 0. So what is your denominator here? Your denominator is 2x plus 1. So consider that one. So you have to consider 2x plus 1 cannot be 0. So x cannot be what number? -1/2. This is the things that you have to consider for fractional equation or inequalities. This is inequalities lah. Inequalities. Okay. So do you have -1/2 in your last answer? So look at your last answer. So you don't have any -1/2 because this is open circle. Open circle means this value is excluded. So you can conclude that this is your last answer. Okay. This one a bit longer, the solution, because you are using the definition method. What is definition method? Madam repeat again, definition is using the properties. How to use the properties? You are having modulus more than symbol. So this is the properties. You have to split into 2, which is x is less than -1 or x is more than 1. Okay. So the word or here also important now. Or means what? Or means you have to take everything of the answer. So that's why you take -2 until -half and -half up until 0. So all this is your last answer because you are having the word or. Sometimes you have the word and. If you are using the first definition, you will have and in between. So and means you have to intersect both answer. So later you do the exercises on the and symbol. And means using the first property. Okay. So this is your first method. Second method, the same question, but we are using the squaring both side method. So what is the question just now? Madam just rewrite the question. X minus 1 over 2x plus 1 modulus more than 1. If the question didn't mention to solve using definition method, so you can use this method, which is squaring both sides. Why you can use squaring both sides? Remember, squaring both sides is only valid when you confirm the value is positive. Can bring to the other side if confirm positive. So kalau ada modulus means you are confirm that this numerator and denominator is positive. Then baru you boleh bawa ke right hand side. Okay. For example, this one you can split into 2, x minus 1 modulus over modulus 2x plus 1. So 2x plus 1 you can bring to the other side. Why you can bring? Because you are confirm that this value is positive. If confirm, baru boleh bawa ke right hand side. So this one you have x minus 1 modulus more than 2x plus 1, also modulus symbol. Okay. So just use squaring both side method. So 1 square left side, another 1 square right side. So you just expand x square minus 2x plus 1 more than 4x square plus 4x plus 1. And then you have the quadratic only. So solve this quadratic, bring everything one side. So x square minus 4x squared is -3x square. -2 minus 4 is -6x. 1 minus 1 is 0. So you have more than 0. So the equation become -3x square minus 6x more than 0. Then you can simplify further your inequalities. Divide everything with -3. Then you have only x square plus 2x. Remember to change also the inequality symbol because you are dividing with negative. So this is less than 0. And then factor. Further, you have x plus 2 less than 0. Okay, how to solve quadratic inequalities. Just use the graphing method. Okay, the roots here is what? The roots, which is the x value, is 0 and also -2. So just draw one small shape of the graph. Then your x-axis, your roots is -2 and 0. So this is your y-axis. Then less than symbol means choose only the area of less than 0, which is negative area. So that negative area is actually x from -2 until 0. Open circle. Okay, but the original question is fraction. Okay, this is the original question, fraction. So fraction, you have to consider denominator cannot be 0. So take your denominator. So 2x plus 1 cannot be 0 at all. So solve for x. So x cannot be -1/2. So does this value -1/2 in this interval? Yes. The answer is yes. This somewhere in between here. Okay. So if madam display in the number line form, let's say this is your number line. Your interval for x just now is -2 until 0. So that is your interval. Okay, so just draw one number line connecting these two values. But remember, x cannot be -half. So where is your -half? -half is somewhere here. This is -half. So you cannot include this value. So make an open circle here. So x cannot be -1/2. So you have to split the answer, which is x is from -2 until -half. Open bracket, union, continue back from -half until 0. Then this is your final answer. So please consider denominator cannot be 0. Okay. So if you compare, you have the same answer from method 1 and also method 2. So it depends on the question actually. Sometimes question mention solve using definition method. If the question didn't mention anything, so just up to your preferences. You want to use method 1 or method 2. Alright, thank you. That's all for the absolute values of inequalities.